Hey everybody! So sorry I was unable to go live from my computer, so I am doing this on my phone, and I'm seeing if we can bring Bridget on this way. So Bridget, if you're on, if you can see me, please join. You guys, this is just the technology, the fun side of owning your business and trying to figure out exactly what's going on the techie side of things, right? So we're gonna see if Bridget can join, and then we will get the party started. But there's this huge windstorm. She's here. Bridget, can you jump on? Can we add you to this live? Because my computer is not allowing us to go live. I'm gonna try to restart it and see if that helps. But um, can we get you on here? I think I can. Boom. I think what you do is you ask me. I don't know, you guys. This is bring a friend. Invite a friend. There she is. Allow your viewers to request to join you. Yes. There. She's trying. Okay, everyone. We're going to restart my computer, see if that works. But there's a serious windstorm today. And shockingly, I live in Gig Harbor, which is like an hour south of Seattle. And shockingly, oh, let me see if I can add. Bring a friend. A thrill of who. You check on your screen to see if you can add me. Well, it's giving me the option, but it says you can request to join as a guest in the broadcast. So that's what it's saying right now. What the hell does it mean, you guys? You know? I don't know. So we're going to try to get her to join because she is the key. She is the master ingredients of figuring out your intuition. That's what we wanted to talk to you today about. But anywho, so I am in Gig Harbor, which is an hour south of Seattle. And I heard that just like 20 minutes away from me, there was a tornado yesterday and roofs were ripped off homes. It's like the weirdest, shocking thing I've ever heard in my life. I was like, what do you mean there was a tornado yesterday? So, it's very, very odd. Check on your screen. That should do it. Bridget, are we getting ya? I don't see you asking me. Hey, everybody, we're just dealing with some technological issues. So we're trying to figure out how we can bring Bridget on, but we're dealing with some techie stuff. So, you know, the joys. I'm restarting my computer, starting it back up, seeing if it can work. Now, I have an option, Tanya, who is watching. Oh, yay! I think we're gonna do it. Oh no, it went away. Bridget, there. Everybody, is it? It's adding, connecting. This is the slowest. There she is.
Success. I couldn't flip and do it on my computer, my laptop. Like I had to.
Me too.
I had to get on my phone.
I know, me too. I had to. What is that? Maybe Facebook is dealing with some sort of issue.
Having its own internal windstorm.
You know what? Probably. I mean, it's so windy here. We were driving and a tree or like a branch came down on the roof of Alex's car, and we were like, "Ah!" So I know it's really windy and rainy out. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe technical little issues. But let me go. Well, now that I can't see anything else because we're on our phone, um, let's start by just saying, hey, everyone. This is Bridget Flynn. She is an intuitive healer. What else did you say? Basically, I'll just tell you my version of her. Bridget was referred to me from a friend, And she was like, you've got to call her. She will help you access your intuition. She's like a master at what she does. So, hey, Anne's here. I started working with Bridget, like, I feel like it was a year ago or maybe longer. And then she has this new program called Anxious to Intuitive, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And so I've been working with her with sessions, and this program that she's put together is insanely awesome. And so I've been learning, like, literally the minute she starts talking to you, everything changes and you just get like softer. And she's incredible at what she does. And so I wanted to bring her on. She's going to be one of the guest speakers in the Break Free Mastermind, and she's going to help us access our intuition today. And so she's here to answer questions. And Bridget, tell me how you would describe what you do and who you are.
Yeah, that was a really nice intro. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah,
Thank
you got it, girl.
I know we did a reading together about back in January last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was when the love affair started.
Sure was.
So so I'm a psychic and I'm a spiritual life coach. And I think intuition is so important. This is the reason why I started this course in intuition, is because the intuition, this is like the solid foundation that everybody needs that we just never learn in our lives. So I've been doing readings off and on for 20 years, and the last several years I got more, just did them more consistently. And as I did them more consistently, I deepened my own self-awareness and my own spirituality. And so I kept getting these questions from people, and it was like, if you the basically whenever I gave them the answer, they always said, "Oh, thanks, I knew that." Like, it was just reaffirming something they knew inside their hearts. And I was like, if you just could listen to your intuition, then you would have known the answer. And so in deciding to create this course, I helped others and I helped myself. And one, it's like I really want to empower people to listen to their intuition, to know what it feels like, to know how your intuition is communicating with you. And there are different kinds of intuitions, and yours will talk to you in certain ways. And then I also wanted to do this because it takes me deeper as a person, as a healer, and as someone I'm dedicated to bringing light and love into the world however I can. And doing this helps me to bring it up to the next level. Mm-hmm. So, hi, Nikki. That's my dedication.
Yeah.
And so So I want to teach people so Anxious to Intuitive was born from that. Mm-hmm. I want to bring people into deeper connection with their own intuition, develop an intimate relationship with their intuition. That's critical.
Yeah.
When I first started, I had my own psychic awakening, I was like 17, and I was under a lot of stress. And so everything, like the floodgates opened, everything came at once. And I was really at sea. And I felt like, and I had really poor boundaries, and I felt like I wasn't connected to my intuition at all. And so I feel like if I'd had that foundation that I give in this course, if I had that foundation when I was 17 or beforehand, then it would have just been such a help.
Yeah.
Such a help.
Would have been so much easier. I was just going to ask, like, what's some of the biggest transformations you see in people when they start to learn how to listen to themselves?
Good question. Confidence.
Yeah.
Like this, and it's this settling that people get inside of their hearts. They're like, I know myself better, and I know the answer. Mm-hmm. It's the confidence that comes with self-empowerment.
Yes.
So that's the biggest transformation that I see. And then I was going to say,
like, what would be the first place someone could start to access that inner self?
So how can we start accessing the inner self?
Yeah.
Um, it's like the simplest way to do it. It's the simplest answer. Um, and that is to go inward, get quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So we live in a noisy time, and noise is very distracting.
Mm-hmm.
And so we often want to like be distracted from ourselves, even though we really yearn for that deep, deep connection. But we're like, I don't know how to make the deep connection. I don't really know who I am. I don't really know what I want, you know, or I'm confused about that. Like I know some about myself, but I don't know everything. And there are things I'm kind of scared to look at. So if I go quiet and I go inward, what am I going to see? Am I going to like it? What is it going to feel like, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that emotional aspect. And then there's like the results part that drives it too, which is like, well, what's the point of it? What result is it going to get me? You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, how is this going to benefit life, you know? And so the intuition it comes from so deep inside of you, that connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it as like this little antenna inside of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's constantly receiving information. And the way that your intuition will communicate with you is like that antenna will send the information to the place that you have like a gift for, or a natural predilection.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a very imaginative person, your intuition will send it, your antenna will send it to your third eye, you know, in the form of a vision, you know, or a flash.
Ooh, that would be like, okay, so this is one thing that I feel like you either said or you wrote, and you were talking about how you can have these like quote unquote downloads and things that happen to you, but you don't know what they are. And so you're just like, well, that was weird. And then you keep living your life. And it's like, you could keep pushing down little gifts that you get because you don't know what they are. And I think that a lot of people probably experience that. What would you say that like some of those things show up as?
So you mean pushing down the gifts? How does that show up,
Yeah.
or the intuition?
Say I had a download. What does that look like? Am I like dizzy all of a sudden? Is like a light flickering? Like what is that?
Okay, okay. Downloads. Now,
Yes.
downloads are really unique. So everyone's intuition is unique to themselves. Like there are commonalities, but the way that you experience the trigger of it, you know, it's so unique to you. And this is why we need to develop an intimate relationship with it so that we're not scared of it. We can access it when we want to, and we know when it's communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when people start listening to their intuition more, if they have ignored it their whole lives, or if they're having a spiritual awakening alongside developing their intuition, the information, the downloads, the flashes, they can come as so I'll just give you some examples. It can settle in like as a full body knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sometimes you'll get this weird feeling like you might be inside of your body, part in, part out of your body. Like a sort of like a weird disconnect. Like I know I'm here, but I'm also off. Like it's this feeling you get sometimes when you have low blood sugar,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
It's happened to me personally when like I know that I wasn't having low blood sugar,
Yeah.
you know, but like so it can happen like that. The download, you can feel it in your heart, and that can feel like a flood of information,
Mm-hmm.
or it can feel like again that deep knowing
Mm-hmm.
when you get the download.
Mm-hmm. Would like say it's like an out of body experience, or like or you feel off. Like I have some clients who they're just like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, and they're like Anne says, like deja vu. Is that what it feels like?
Deja vu that's a great question. I get asked that pretty frequently. Deja vu is not the intuition that I'm talking about. you know, deja vu, already seen. So you had a flash, like in the moment that you're experiencing the deja vu, it's not an intuition because you already received that information a while ago, or it might have been a dream, or in a dream, like I think I had a dream about this, and in a dream you were actually accessing this like alternate universe.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows about how they really work? You could have been just repeating an action that you repeated 3 months ago in the same spot, same action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that. So deja vu does kind of require a certain kind of an awareness, and it can come from different levels. But in terms of like the intuition that I'm talking about, it's not like a receptive into the heart and then it gets fed somewhere else. Deja vu is an experience, and you definitely are using those, like maybe the intuitive gift of clairvoyance. You know, the third eye. Does that answer the question?
And she hasn't answered us yet, but I want to talk about kind of like what happens when you don't access your intuition. What happens when you just live disconnected?
Wow. Oh gosh. Yeah. So many people walk around feeling disconnected from their intuition. Um, it can manifest itself in so many ways. Good, Anne. I'm glad. Thank you. The A person can go through the motions of life and just feel discontent, dissatisfied. They might know who they are. They might, you know, and like themselves and have a great life. But they can feel like they're missing this connection on a deeper level to something else. Okay. They could feel like they are always just kind of living by the guidance of others as opposed to their own inner guidance. It might feel like a pressure on the chest or like a knock on the door. They're like, there's something else that I want to be doing, but I don't know what it is. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing it right, but things feel off, you know? So like that's a person who is way more like they're feeling disconnected from their intuition, or they might not be aware that they are intuitive, you know? But they're just like kind of awakening to it. But there are people who walk around completely disconnected, and they are, you know, I've seen those people. We all have, and they are out of touch with their hearts. Actually, is what it is. They're really out of touch with their hearts and living by some other rules that are not their own governance.
That's the biggest thing that I've learned is when you can't access that intuition, that place of knowing, you take everyone else's opinions about what you should be doing in your life, and it's like you're constantly being just led different directions, and then you get sad when you get there because you're like, what, how did I even get here? I don't even know why I'm here. And you just, Nikki said, cheers to aligning with and being open to our intuition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nikki.
So
glad it resonated, Anne.
Yeah.
The walking around disconnected. Here is the funny thing. That everyone is intuitive. Everyone, every single person has intuition. Like if you can breathe, you have intuition, you know? And so, but we're just taught to, you try so many things and nothing works. Yeah, and that's like going back to like, you know, this person said to do this expert said to do that. And that is, you know, that's just kind of what we're taught, you know, as a society growing up to put the power on other people or other authority figures. And some people over the years figure out how to bring their power back to themselves or bring some of it back to themselves. And other people just are like, well, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. What am I doing wrong? You know? Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Catherine.
So, yeah. So everybody has intuition. Everybody.
Yeah.
Got the int.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So,
do you think we should take some questions?
Absolutely, yes. I'd love to know what people the questions they have on intuition, like development, how to know if it's yours, like how you experience your intuition, because it's so personal.
Yeah.
I think I just saw a question pop up from Catherine or somebody
She
made a
said,
comment.
also, yes, a society has told us what our intuition is supposed to be. Oh, Aunt Pete Stoven, I'm here. Woo woo. Anne says,
Hey,
now I'm crying in Target parking lot. Love this.
oh, and
Love
yay
you,
for
sister.
tears.
Yay, I'm glad everyone. So, if you have questions about how to access your intuition or things that maybe you've experienced that you don't know why they're happening, like ask us those kind of questions, because you do have this person here who is just doing this out of the goodness of her heart. She's here to answer questions that maybe you've had for a long time that you haven't felt open or brave or vulnerable enough to share. So, we'll just take like the next 3 questions, whatever they are. Pete, do you have any questions about how to access your intuition, or like weird things that have happened? Or my brother should actually be on this call because he has had so many weird, like freaky moments.
Really? Like what? I mean, that you know that he would be okay with you saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe some of your own. How about some of your own?
Something around. Oh, Catherine says, what is the first step you would take to regain your own intuition?
So, for Miss Catherine, the first steps for her to regain her own intuition, and this goes for a lot of people, is to know that you are enough. So a lot of accessing our intuition comes around the emotions, you know, because we have like certain beliefs about who we are and what we're worth and what we're worthy to receive and self-respect and all those things. And so sometimes people feel like it's a subconscious thing. It's like I'm not worthy of listening to my intuition. Or who am I? Like why should I have this intuitive gift? You know, like I'm not special. Well, yes, you are.
Yeah, that makes me so sad because, like, one, I feel like I used to feel like that. What?
So, so sorry, I just had a call flash in. But for a really good first step to regain one's intuition is to know that you are worthy. It's like have this affirmation. It's like I am worth it. I am worth it. And then from that place of feeling like, okay, I've got that affirmation, I feel it now, then, hey, Kelly, then that is when you can just drop into your heart. Close your eyes and go into your heart. Set a timer for 3 minutes and just sit in there and feel. Because in the quiet, we can hear our intuition. In the quiet, we can really connect to those deeper parts of ourselves. And when we're able to connect so deeply and do it regularly, that makes it easier and makes it easier to do in our everyday lives. It makes the voice, our inner voice, louder for us to hear. And it makes tapping into your intuition, hearing that inner voice so much more easier because you've opened to it in your heart. You've taken the time to get to know it. You've taken the time to say, you know, by going into your heart and opening to it, you've taken the time to say, I'm beginning to trust you, inner voice. I'm beginning to trust you, intuition. I'm beginning to trust you, antenna that's inside my heart. Like I'm beginning to partner with you. Let's you know, let's keep doing this every day. And sorry, I keep looking. I just look this way because when I receive messages, I can't look at you. I have to look somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was beautiful.
So thank you.
Yes.
Okay, I think I saw Anne pop in.
Anne says, how do you block out the noise, other people's opinions, new lifestyle fads, trends? I have shiny object syndrome.
Ooh, shiny object syndrome. That's a conditioning. Shiny object syndrome is a conditioning. So like we've just been conditioned to pop in, oh, happy crying face.
Yes.
Or Yeah, see, it's always for you, honey. Much love. So the shiny object syndrome is a condition. We've just been conditioned by our society to hop from one thing to the next. It's about consumerism, you know. So it's a habit. It's a habit, and habits can be undone.
Mm-hmm.
So the question, so the answer actually is the same. I would give you the same answer, and is how do I? And actually, and for you, for many others too, is meditation. So just like taking 15 minutes every day and listening. Actually, the one that comes to my mind for you, Anne, is the Abraham Hicks, the Getting into the Vortex. So you can download that app on your phone. I think it's like $15, or you can put it on. Hey Ben, Sunny. You can put it on YouTube. YouTube has all of the Getting into the Vortex meditations. But how do I combat shiny object syndrome? Commitment, self-discipline, self-forgiveness, compassion, the constant redirect. You know, it's like, I do this all the time. Like it's like, oh, somebody pinged me on my phone. Oh, there's a notification on Facebook. Why do I even have Facebook open? You know, I should be doing my work, you know. Oh, my mom is calling me, you know, friends texting me. So it's like, it's training oneself to just be back present, be in the moment. And that's something else that like shiny object syndrome does, is that it takes us away from being present. And that's actually one of the things that like I spend like half of a module on in Anxious to Intuitive, is talking about being present and how to come around to being present. And that's a practice. It's not like, you know, you do 1, 2, 3 and then you're present for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Thank
you, Anne. It's like, yeah, something we have to just keep doing every day.
I have a question for like people who are maybe on anti-anxiety or depression med, and they feel like their head's already super fuzzy. How do they figure out, like, you know, is it the meds that thinks this, or is it me? And they have to take them. So it's not a choice of getting off of them.
Yeah. So I'll preface this by saying that I have very little experience in dealing with antidepressants and medication. And so, but the answer that came when you were talking, you like, you know, the fuzzy head, and the answer that came is actually like, allow your intuition then to be in your body. So you could, if you have like, let's say you have a fuzzy head from your medications, and you're a highly imaginative person, and so you've always like received flashes, but the medications might be like dulling the flashes or confusing you. So that's when I would like speak to my body, and I would be like, we need to retrain the intuition. We need it to show up as a fluttering in the stomach, you know, or as a feeling in my heart.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. And actually, this is something interesting that just popped into my mind. I saw somebody drawing. So like, if you're feeling like you have like there's some intuition coming through, or you want an answer, and if you're a highly imaginative person that is on antidepressants, then start drawing. And in the answer could be the drawing will have the answer. And you can still, like listen to your gut and use your gut to sort out the answer from the picture.
Yeah. I love that, because that also, you're getting quiet again. You know, you don't have to have a phone or a computer or anything. Pete Stovin says, what's more important, drive towards a greater goal or contentment, being happy and content with the current state? That's a good one.
Yeah. I think it's a really good one. Actually, I'm being asked to put the question back to you, Pete.
Ooh.
What for you? Because it's one is neither bad or good or better or less than. It depends upon what you want in life and how you feel about your life. If you, and there's, you don't, one does not preclude or exclude the other. So if you have drive, that doesn't mean that you can't be, that you're not content. Just because you have drive and ambition doesn't mean that you are discontent. What's driving you? You know, what is the substance of that drive? Is it to attain money? That's great. Money is fun. Money buys shoes, money can buy like a house, money can buy a great trip, great food. It can support the things, some of the things that bring you joy. It can support things that are dear to your heart, some philanthropies, clean water missions, literacy in young Black children. You know, like it can, money can do so many things. So, and sometimes just the pleasure of making money is really fun. Just to watch those dollar bills like stack up, like that can be a lot, you know, and it's the joy. So, you know, just because you're content does not mean that you have to stay that way. For some people it is, but to be content can be like, I'm really good here right now. What has brought you to that contentment? What is it that makes you feel so good? And then keep doing that. If you're using content, and then this requires some self-reflection, which is like, I'm content right now. Is there something more that I want? Am I using my contentment to keep me safe and stay in one place? So there's a lot of different subtle answers in that. And personally, I worry that contentment can lead to complacency. I think the challenge is to be confident in what's the last word?
It says confident in the contentment while still having my eyes open for opportunities for growth.
It's that, oh, Pete, that's so good. Because I can see you, Pete, like it's like it comes from the heart. So they're asking you to bring it back to the heart, to your heart, and knowing, understanding that you can have both. If you allow yourself to be happy and still pursue your ambitions. If you equate contentment with complacency, then let that be your byword. Okay? So if you equate contentment with complacency, let that be your byword. And then evolve and revolve your life from there. Is this making sense? I know I feel like I'm speaking vaguely.
What does byword mean?
Let it be like your watchword. Like, let it be the trigger. Let it be, those things. But complacency does not have to mean, contentment does not have to mean complacency. You can still have drive and ambition, and it's your job, Pete, to make sure that you are fulfilling the goals and missions inside of your heart and the things that you want to build and have fun with in life. If you do that, you will never really be complacent.
Love it.
Okay, I think
back.
Okay.
And like what Pete's saying, I feel like that's how 90% of people feel. It's like you reach this level, you're happy, but then it's like you want to get to the next level and you're happy, but and then it's like, when is it enough? And what you're saying is like having both at the same time. You can be happy here, you can be happy here, you can keep your happiness going. But like if you're depressed here, you're depressed here. It's like you said, ride it together.
Yeah, exactly. That's really well put, Jay. Really well summarized. We're always, it's not about does goal driving mean I'm incomplacent?
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Mary. Driving for goals doesn't mean that you're like unhappy or unfulfilled always. It's because you're always growing.
Yeah.
So you'll know if you're unhappy.
Yeah.
You know if you're unhappy. You know that if you're using goals in your heart, or to take the place of a relationship, to take a place of true connection, to satisfy others, to do what you think that you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know it, you know, but like setting goals from your place of mission, from your heart, from your joy, like you'll always be happy, and you'll be learning and stretching and growing in doing so.
Yes. I think like when people, like Anne was saying earlier, you have these habits of like shiny object syndrome, and it's kind of like a ride. It's like a rush, you know, to like be like this all the time in like relationships and health and whatever you want to do. It's like you're going up, you're going down. And then so when you streamline, it's like it gets boring. So I understand, only probably because of ADD and stuff, how like you want, it's kind of fun to go up and down, but it's like I think when you can, like you said, Bridget, like when you get quiet and you go in and you kind of just like distract yourself from all the like, buy this, buy this, buy this, and ooh, come try this, and all this stuff. It's like when you can distract yourself, you get quiet, you go in, then you already have what you've been looking for in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The answers are always inside of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All that beauty, all that joy that you're seeking, all the fun and the excitement, like that is already inside of you. And your ability to experience life in that way is already inside of you. You don't always need an external stimulator.
Yeah.
So,
well, and it's like it's one thing to have it inside, but it's another thing to have someone like you who is like, you know, just taking it out, because sometimes you can't access it on your own. You're like, okay, so I'm going to get quiet, and then I'm going to sit here, and you're just like quiet for a little bit, and then you're like, well, didn't find anything new. And so I think with you coming in, the mastermind is going to be huge.
Thank you.
It's going to
I'm really,
huge.
really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Is
The
does anyone else have one more question, or otherwise Bridget can tell us like anything she wants to tell us. So if you have another question, feel free to ask it now. Otherwise, Bridget, any last words or anything you want to share, or anything on your heart?
Yeah, let's feel. If you're listening to this or you've been watching this, I'm being shown like circles going out from like everyone's hearts to each other's. It's this interconnection, and the message is to show that we really are all connected through the heart, and we're not alone. None of us are alone in any way. All the things that we've experienced, others have experienced. There's sisterhood and camaraderie through the heart, through connecting to the heart. There's more. Hold on. It seems like our unique love is a universal love. So the message is like, and I think I hear it in the questions too today, is this thing about love and bringing it back to the heart. You know, I feel like we've been distracted from our hearts, from what we really want. We've been distracted from our inner voices, from our intuition, and it's time to come back to it. It's time to bring our own power, like to empower ourselves, to bring our powers back. And I strongly feel that intuition and spiritual gifts and this love energy, this living from the heart, it's the new normal. We need to let it be the new normal.
Yeah.
We really do.
Yeah.
Let acting on your intuition be your new normal.
That's beautiful.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I'm so just like, oh, fun. I can help people get there. I can help people to listen to their own intuition.
It's
For years, I didn't listen to my own. Oh my
oh,
God.
and
You
that's when
know?
you run into the problems. You're just like, well, I feel like I know what I want, but I'll just no, she knows better for me than I do about myself. Yeah,
That was exactly me. It was the good girl, the people pleaser. You know, I had such strong gifts as a kid, but like because I wanted love and attention. That like it was like be a good girl. I'm like, what do I need to do? You know,
exactly.
and so being a people pleaser can really take us away from our intuition. It can disconnect us. But our intuition is always there. It's always speaking to us. We just need to learn to figure out how ours is communicating with us. It's like as if there's somebody who's like standing next to you all the time and is like speaking Russian and you don't speak a word of it. But then one day you start to learn Russian, and it's like, oh, I'm picking up what you're saying, my Russian friend.
Yes.
I'm picking up what you're saying, my intuition, because I've been learning how you talk to me. Oh, this is great. Hey, you know?
I think
Like
we all
that.
have our Russian friends, don't we?
I have a couple.
I mean, I probably have one maybe. Maybe I have friends and I don't know they're Russian. But Bridget, thank you so much for being here. And everyone, if you could say thank you to Bridget for sharing her gifts with everyone today and spending her time with us and just opening her heart and her mind to everything. And thank you, Bridget. If I'll just leave your info below in case anyone wants to contact you and well, probably the floods of people that will contact you.
My floodgates are open, so please do. I'm here to support. I'm here to answer questions. And Jay, I'm really honored and looking forward to being part of the Break Free Mastermind, helping these women to break free of their limitations and using their intuition to do so.
I'm just, like, I could do a tap dance right now. Oh, okay, Miss Bridget. Well, we will see you later.
See you later, Gator.
Okay, bye, girl.